Hi everyone, it's Yvette Blowitz from SpiritGirl.com and welcome to the Spirit Girl Talk Show. I'm super excited to be here with you today and with our very special guest, Dr. Gianna Sullivan, who is a certified happiness coach and a speaker, and she's also an author of several books. How are you today?
Thank you for having me, Yvette. It's wonderful to be here. I am feeling wonderful today as well.
What really inspired you to become a certified happiness coach?
I'm a pharmacist by profession, and at the height of my career, actually, I had a divine encounter, and I was invited by God to help those who are underserved, the less fortunate. So, medicine being my background, I started a nonprofit medical mobile clinic that provides free health care, free prescriptions, free dental services, free labs, free surgeries to the underserved population. I did that for about 26 years. And then as I was serving them, I realized that even though they were getting the free care, there was something more deep embedded within their hearts and their souls that they didn't have that inner happiness, continual peace. And so I went to search that out and I became a certified happiness coach. And that's how it started. My joy and my goal is to help as many people as I can know the potential of joy and love and happiness that is available to them right within them.
What is happiness?
Well, happiness is an inner state. It's an inner state of being regardless of the circumstances around you. Not that everything may be perfect all the time, there are always challenges, but you always come back to a center of inner being happiness. And there's a way that you can connect with yourself that you're able to have some equanimity and balance through everything. And that's what it's all about. So you're not anxious as much. I mean, sometimes people have anxiety or depressed. As the World Health Organization said, depression is number 2 in the world. It's a state of being. It's a learning process that you have at your tips to learn and know about. Much of it is science and medical and mathematical, and it is available and you can do it. I mean, you really can do it. You may have to practice your behavioral changes a bit and may not feel comfortable at first, but I promise you, you will. You'll be happy.
Is it possible that we can make ourselves unhappy because we are striving for things outside of us? So, like, I'll be happy when I get 1 million YouTube subscribers, or I'll be happy when I find that perfect guy, or I'll be happy when I have 1 million TikTok followers. We're always seeking happiness by setting a goal or a target and then working up to that. If we don't achieve it or not achieving it or feel like we're getting nowhere near it, we can then feel unhappy.
Absolutely. We've been ingrained within us that if we win the lottery, we'll be happy. If we get married, we'll get happy. If we have kids, we'll be happy. If we're famous, we'll be happy. If, I have a new car, I'll be happy. If I get a divorce, I'll be happy. It goes on and on. Yes, that might happen temporarily, but it's not going to be a long lasting happiness. It will peter out just like the fireworks do. When they go up, they peter down. So it's inevitable because a true happiness, really, truly happiness, is within. You're not influenced as much by all the other activities. You enjoy them, they're wonderful, but you know that whether you have it or you don't, you're happy. That's why, like in Okinawa, you see a lot of the Japanese who are very, very happy and long age living, and they're so simple. They've done studies over that. So it's all within. It's not circumstantial. It's not temporary. This is something that's long lasting. This is something that's embedded in with you so that you do what you love and you love what you do. And there's something that you beam about. There's an aura of light. People see that you are genuine and at peace and they want what you have. Why? Because it's authentic. You're authentic when you're like that.
How can we truly start cultivating long-lasting happiness from within?
Well, first of all, you have to desire it. You have to say, enough is enough. You have to say, all right, what is it that I can do to really be like in yoga, be one with the universe? You get the light around you, you're in union. Okay, what does that take? Okay, well, you need to be authentic. You need to be held accountable for things that you've done and want to change. There are seven. I teach 7 pillars, and one of them is the foundation. And the foundation is you need to take responsibility for the things that you do. You have a choice to be tight and be like Velcro, or you can be like Teflon and slide and move, be engaged, go with the passion and flow. A lot of that has to do with just a yes, simple willingness. Okay, everything is willingness. We all have a willingness to say yes or no. I think if people open to that, it may seem afraid to look at that, but they'll find out how beautiful they are and they're not so afraid. And what you will find out from doing that, the areas of violence that you see turn otherly to more peaceful events, more union, more joyful events, more peaceful, loving inner events. And you just happy.
And when it comes to creating your own happiness, what are some of the things that you love to do within your own life?
I'm a passionate person. I love people. And so I like to do things that I feel passionate about. I love to serve people. So serving others is a big thing for me. I like to be engaged. I like to be in the flow, take the action to be inspired. I myself dedicate much time to meditation and prayer. And so I have priorities and I try and make my first day optimistic. When I wake up, you have a choice to say, it's another day. It's gloomy out. Or no, I take a breath and I look at the many benefits of being alive, thanking God for that and the gratitude and the hope of what today's light will bring and all the people that come in my life and the events. And some may not be so happy, yes, but it's not that whether it's happy or not, it's how you handle the situation and you have an opportunity and how you manage that. Just have to go with the flow. And if you fail, I've done that several times. It's okay. You tried. You haven't failed if you tried. Okay. There's no time for fear. There's only time to change. And that change is to be active in looking at possibilities, have some equanimity, balance, and doing what you love.
I love how you said it starts with your basically attitude. You choose. I have found during the global pandemic, it could be easy to wake up and feel very fearful, or we do have the choice to wake up and embrace the day or be optimistic about what are the things we can do that helps us to feel good from within. It really does start with our thoughts then, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. And there are some people who are not feeling well. And so when they wake up in the morning, they just don't feel good. Okay, that's not for you to say, hey, I'm going to get up and do 20 jumping jacks. Okay. Now, the fact is, you don't feel good. It's okay. But you accept and you look forward to the positive things that will occur today. Okay. And so, yes, it does start with thoughts. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of the thoughts we have today will be the same thoughts we have tomorrow. And so, if that's the case, and if they're negative, 80% of those thoughts are robbing us of our happiness. You have to look at your thought patterns, and thought patterns need to be changed. And we all have them. We either get down on ourselves or we think something, I can't do it, I'm a failure, nothing's ever going to be right for me. Or you can change your thought pattern to say, this too shall pass. I'm here, I'm a blessing. people. There's something positive that's going to happen. So it's like, here, I'll give you an example. Fold your hands like this, like you're going to impress. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now fold your fingers over,
Yeah.
right? Now, what side is your thumb? Is your left thumb on top or is your right thumb on top?
Right.
Your right thumb is on top. Well, they say that people whose right thumb is on top are highly intelligent.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, that's good news, Furret Girl audience. You can go to the YouTube channel to see what we're doing, but we're putting our hands together.
Now, if your left thumb is on top, it says that you're more sexier.
Woo! There we go. So it's a win-win either way.
So it's always a compliment for one another. Now, if both fingers are like this, let's see if I can get in the camera. Like that, you know?
Oh, yes. Yeah, right. That's side by side.
You only wish that you're smarter at it. That's the joke. No, so, okay, now that's your normal. Now put your fingers together. Close them. And now put your opposite thumb on top. Put your left thumb on top. And I'll put my... Feels a little strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels weird. Feels a bit like not right.
Okay.
Odd.
That's because you're so used to doing it one way. So if you do it the other way, it doesn't mean it's not the right way. But that's the part of happiness and changing the neural pathways in your cellular memory, changing behavior. And that a lot of people on substance abuse and recovery, this is the same type of thing. It takes time to change a behavior. And so once that happens, and so when you get a negative thought, what do? Stop. You notice it. Once you notice it, stop. And then think, what's happening here? No. And then think another, just stop it and just think something nice, fun. Look at the nice, pretty trees. Look at a funny joke or think something. A prayer. People are spiritual. Do a prayer or just try and change your thought. Or that's why a lot of people wear rubber bands to flick themselves to change another thought. That's the idea, is you stop the pattern once you have it. And you'll notice that it'll start changing. At first, it may seem like really weird, but I promise you, stick with it and you'll see it. Every morning, go, Yvette, in front of the mirror. Say 20 things positive about yourself in front of the mirror every day for 20 days.
We're going to take that challenge up. We're definitely going to do this. So we're going to stand in front of the mirror, looking at ourselves in the mirror.
For 20 days or 21 days. I'm beautiful.
Wow.
I'm handsome. I have great hair. I've got great legs. I contribute. I donate to nonprofits. I'm a great physician. I'm a great pharmacist. I have so much to offer. I love pets. I love to help, or kids. I love my mom and dad. I'm a great dancer. I mean, you can go on and on every day.
And I love this.
That's going to make you feel pretty damn good.
I tell you what, I just can't imagine, like, thinking of the last time we really just talked ourselves up, was positive about our own self in front of the mirror, mind you.
Feel weird. At first, you're going to feel weird with that too. It's like, oh, my hair doesn't look good, or, oh, I don't. No, you look fine.
We are programmed, aren't we, to stand in front of the mirror and instantly our mind or brain wants to pick. Obviously, it's a habit we've had for some time, many years, where we might be comparing ourselves with beauty standards on magazines or social media now. So we're looking at our faults or things that are wrong about us.
You're beautiful the way you are. Oh, it comes to the time where you're healthy, you're beautiful, and then, I'm too heavy, I'm this and that. If you're within a balanced weight, okay, obviously, if you have heart conditions and diabetes, and then you need to have good nutrition, and maybe you do need to lose a few pounds. But there's so many people who are so anti themselves, and they want to look like the Barbie dolls or the Britney Spears or the whoever, and it's never good enough, and they don't enjoy who they are at the moment that they are. Where other people see you differently. They see a light. They see your eyes shine. They see that smile. They want what you have. They don't care. They love your heart, your compassion, your giving. It's just so much to be said about that. And it's like an artist's palette, Yvette. Never forget it. When you paint a picture, some of the famous artists paint with just vibrant colors all over, like the Sistine Chapel. Look how that oh, so now it seems like the world has been cluttered with just one way. It's been so angry and violent. So if you don't mix those colors, it becomes gray and dull. We're all beautiful and we have everything that we have to offer to give to one another. We have each one of us within us that power to be empowered to make a difference to change the world. You're light.
I love your words of wisdom. They're so beautiful. Our listeners would be just like, high five, like up and down, up and down. Your words were so comforting, so beautiful, so happy, so positive, so vibrant, so joyful, so much optimism where someone might be feeling they're not enough or they don't fit in. But when you talked about standing in front of the mirror and thinking of things even to do with serving, if you have a compassionate heart or you're caring or you're loving, like these are all incredible positive thoughts towards ourselves. And sometimes we don't spend the time to even acknowledge our inequalities. We're living in times which it's very physical based or photo based or video based, but very much on appearance versus kindness and things like that.
Correct. And so here's something that you and your audience across the world can do. There is a happiness continuum. There is a negative and a positive. So when you have a situation happening, there are certain things that are either positive or negative, and you're going to have a sense, a feeling with it. Now, if everything seems to be kind of negative, the continuum goes one way. If it's balanced or even more positive, will open you up to be more vigilant, have more reasoning, and have more solutions for situations. And just remember, it does take time. It's not going to happen overnight. I wish I could just snap my fingers or be I dream a genie and blink my eyes or something like that. It doesn't seem to happen that way. However, you have to remember there's years of cultivation of one-way negativity. So now the pendulum swung way too far one way now. Now it's like, okay, we need to bring this back to balance and live in harmony. And we definitely can do it. The 7 pillars, so they know, is the foundation, the mind, the heart, the body, the soul, and relationships, the roof. The garden is relationships, and then there's a roof. Got to have a roof over your head, right?
Is it okay during these times we can have empathy and acknowledge, say, as an example, some parts of Australia are in lockdown and we can have empathy for them not being able to go out and do what they want when they want. But it's okay that we still focus on our own happiness. So instead of bringing ourselves down based on the news and what's happening there, it's still good for us to focus on our own happiness and not be swept away with the negativity or the fear-based.
Absolutely. If you start thinking only negative, then people are going to freak out. They're alone. They think they can't manage. They have anxiety. They have suicidal thoughts. They get angry and they get violent. However, if you think of it in a different way with some compassion and join them in their suffering, however, and they will see that in your genuine love and passion. However, your brain is your behavior. You control your brain. Your brain isn't control. You control your thoughts. You can be present and have total balance and peace within your heart because you know that every person in the world is brought with light. And unless they willingly choose to walk away from that light and cause destruction and devastation, then that's different than just that's evil. That type of evil, just stay away. Silence is the only way to address that. But I'm telling you that with other people, and there are people who suffer, but it doesn't mean that you can't bring them that joy and hope. They're looking for you. They're looking to be that life. They want it too. I don't think people know the power that they have of love and how contagious it is and how much people always strive. They want this, they want that. But if you have it, they want what you have. They can have it too. It's for everyone. There's no cost price tag to it. It's free. You have it. You can just, there's just the basic tools you have to learn. Mine, I told you, I pray and meditate, but I also work on, I have to be held accountable for my actions, and I've done wrong things and I'm not happy about them. However, I'm not a perfect person. Okay, I fail, but I get up and I try again and I keep trying. And so will they. Keep trying. Don't give up. Do you know what? There's a theologian that said there's two greatest days in your life: the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that such a beautiful saying? And when I think of my why, especially during these times, and all of our listeners, and you'd be able to resonate, where it's to just feel good from within, but also to help others to feel good from within. I just believe we all deserve to feel happy. And like you said, we are able to, and it all comes from within. It all starts from within. And I'm a true believer of that. And that's why I really wanted to have you on the podcast show, because it's super cool that you are certified happiness coach. I can tell that when you are on a mission to help people to feel happy, but long lasting happiness, that really lights you up. You can see yourself so happy and joyful and passionate about wanting people to feel happy. So what are some other self-care rituals that you love to do? You mentioned prayer.
I think we have to have dreams. People have dreams, and if they have dreams, they're for a reason. They're to be lived, and to seek those dreams. But the most of the things that I do is love drives out hate for me. So I try to see the good in everyone. I do meditate and prayer, and I do love to serve other people. And
Yeah.
but I serve without seeking consolation in return. So I'm not serving to feel good about it. I just serve because it's we're all together experiencing hardships, and I don't care what country you live in. But one of the other things I do is I believe in myself.
Wow.
I want people to believe in themselves. So that would be a message for me to them, is to believe in yourself. And, live life. Don't be discouraged by the failures that may come. It's okay. It happens. We think we're too hard on ourselves. Be kind to yourself. And just keep replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones. Just, it will turn, I promise you. And if you can really try and love, it will drive out hate.
I just love your words of wisdom, and I could talk to you forever and ever about happiness, how to create it from the inside out, how to look at other people with loving kindness. I saw a father and his son the other day riding their bike, and it was really interesting, and it really reminded me of how far I've come with my meditation practice, even my spiritual practice, or as a human being. When I could see the little boy from another country and I could see me in him. When I was a little kid, I was quite happy riding a bike or being on a bike. And I think when you can see yourself in someone else who's from a totally different country, a totally different background, totally different skin color, totally, completely different in every way, but with loving kindness, I feel that creates a very happy, positive community, don't you think?
Yep.
I'm a big believer in communication or community and conversations. You obviously have been helping people for many, many decades. You mentioned at the start of the podcast show where you're helping underprivileged people to get prescriptions and all kinds of things. Do you feel that during these times, and even more so now, even though everything's gone online, it's still so important to connect with strangers or people you don't know, or say hello, or spark up that conversation?
Yeah. People need each other.
Yeah. And do you know what was so interesting? I was looking at books. So I love books, as you know, and you're an author with several books. So we'll go to your website, which is fasttracktohappiness.com, to have a look at all of your incredible videos that are there, work. But what was so fascinating when I was at this bookstore at Big W looking at the books, I noticed an older woman and she had a trolley and she was trying to talk to this other woman. But the other woman just didn't want to talk to her. However, I could kind of see this going on. And I thought, you know what? I think this lady just wants to have a chat. I really do. And I love to have a chat. What a great place when you're looking at books to have a chat. So I say, how are you? And we start just chatting about books. And I'm holding up a book about this, and she's talking about her book. At the end of this conversation, because I said, oh, I've got to go. Really, I've got to go. She said, thank you for stopping. I just really wanted to chat to someone today. I lost my brother last night, and I was just feeling like I just needed to talk to someone, or I'm just feeling so upset. And, it was in that moment, that miracle moment, that I went, you know what? I'm so happy and grateful that I gave this woman the time just to say hello, how are you, have a chat about books. And it was a brief 10-minute encounter, if that, but it was enough to say, I'm so sorry to hear of your loss. That must be really difficult.
Yeah. We don't know what people are thinking in their heads and what they've gone through.
Yeah.
So quick to judge,
And yeah, it's just a reminder, isn't it, that if someone wants to talk to you, you don't know, you can't fob them off to say, oh, they're crazy, or like, oh, this old lady, why would I stop and talk to this old lady? Like, I'm out of here. I don't want to talk to anyone.
But that's all good. When it comes to you having to be careful is when people start joining riots and things like that. The emotional adrenaline starts kicking. That's not so healthy. What you're talking about, something is healthy.
Yeah, just how are you?
Other things. I mean, you just, you always have to use vigilance and prudence. And so there is a balance.
You know what was so lovely? At the end, we had a good chat. Like, she was so grateful. She said, all I needed today was to talk to someone. And it just made me feel so good. And she said to me, you know what? Your mum's raised a really lovely girl. You let her know that. A really beautiful daughter, a really great, caring girl. And that really made my day. That really made me feel so happy inside that I could contribute in such a simple way by serving people in that way. So how can we stay in touch with you after this podcast show?
Well, you got fasttracktohappiness.com. You have my email, Gianna at fasttracktohappiness.com. I'm on Facebook, Gianna.Sullivan333, or I'm on the YouTube channel. So
Lovely.
I can give a 30-minute consultation free for anyone to see what they need. And we'll go from there. I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, love you too. Thank you so much for being on the podcast show. We'll let you go because it's very late where you are at the moment. So thank you for all of your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being a light worker on Mother Earth and really being on a mission to help people feel a deep sense of everlasting happiness.
And just remember, tell your viewers, there's no one like you. You're born and loved by God, and you have a purpose and mission in your own life.
Oh, that is such a beautiful ending to the podcast show. So thank you again. We'll say goodbye now, Dr.
Thank
Gianna
you.
Sullivan. Thank you. So be sure to subscribe, to leave a 5-star rating and review, and to tell someone you love to. And together, let's feel good from within.